Welcome back to our Clarets Walk. This week we are having a look at the 8 games that are left for Burnley and trying to predict where all the points are coming from to get this side promoted. We've got Dan, John and Connor back with us to do just that. We'll have a look at some Swansea takes as well after that, but we're going to jump straight into it this week and look at these 8 games that are coming up. Everyone says, Dan, that Leeds have got the easier run in. But let's have a look at your guys, because I think after the Bristol City game, yours isn't looking too bad at all. Let's go through the home games. Bristol City, Norwich, Leeds, Millwall. Should be okay, shouldn't it?
No, I don't agree. Sorry. Not to start off on a negative. I think Bristol, they're flying at the minute. I think Norwich is an easy game. Or it should be on paper. Sheffield United, by then, that could be an absolute game and a half. What might be riding on that is unbelievable. And then Millwall, last game of the season, I see us doing that. So, yeah, I think of what the 4 we've got left, 2 should be, the first thing you put on your accumulator. The other 2, I think, are a bit more tricky. So, I think Leeds do have a better run. And then you look at the away games as well, which you may do with somebody else. But we've got 4 of the top 5 to play. So, it's a tough run-in. It really is.
Connor, let's look at those away games then. Coventry away at a 12:30 kickoff. Derby, who are just starting to pick up. Watford and then QPR. I mean, Watford and QPR by that point probably won't have much to play for. So, is this as tough as it possibly could get?
I think it could certainly be tougher. Derby, it all just depends on their latest result, because they are flying high at the minute, aren't they? Watford away is a walkover, I think. I mean, Watford are in an absolute mess. QPR, they showed against Leeds that they can do something against the big sides. And who was the other one? Coventry. I think I'm going to say it's a loss. I don't think Scotty P's got that one in the bag. I think it's a loss.
No, Connor. There's no way for such rash things to be saying now. There's a ball at a day.
All right, let's have a look then at the Sheffield United fixtures and do some quick comparison. Jordan, they've also got Coventry, but then they've got Millwall, Cardiff, and Blackburn at home. Now, many people have pointed out, right, on the last day of the season, if you both need points, right, and it's down to that last game, that Todd Cantwell will be kicking that ball himself to the Blackburn goal to make sure you don't go up. So it's got to be done by then, hasn't it?
Yeah, I personally, I think it will be done by the Sheffield game. I watched them today play. I thought they're terrible. I really do think they're terrible. Yeah. I think Wednesday were all over them. I just think they keep ragging by games, if you will, and nothing's cemented. Where at least I know we've been slaughtered all season about our football. Has anyone been paying attention to Sheffield United? Because what I watched today, I was nearly bored to sleep, and that's meant to be the Steel Derby. No, I do think the running is going to be a lot harder for the fact of I don't think they have the mindset within the team. It looks like a team that half of it's good and half of it's really poor, and the poor side it's what lets it down a lot. For example, the only player I saw dragging anyone up the pitch today for them were Gus Harmer. Everyone was shouting about Ryan Brewster, but it was the easiest tapping going. So I do think with your teams like Cardiff, your teams like Plymouth, maybe they have something to play for, seriously something to play for, and that's a place in the league. People lose jobs when you get relegated, and there's a lot riding on that. So I think if they take them a little bit lacklustre, like they did Sheffield Wednesday, there's too many banana skins there for me personally.
Yeah. We asked AI to predict where Burnley would finish. Shall we have a look at what they said?
So a little look at AI.
Go on, then. It's never wrong.
No, never wrong.
I don't like AI. I don't like it.
AI's wrong.
AI can get in the bin, is what it can do.
It has you missing out by 1 point, which is going to be all them draws, isn't it? And then it would have you in the playoffs against West Brom as well, which, given how that game went the other night, wouldn't be great either. The West Brom result is where this next question really comes from. But does he just need to be a bit braver in some of his decisions in these last 8 games? Is it treat them like if you win every game, you're up? We know that. So therefore, does he need to treat it like FA Cup finals and just go for it a bit more?
Yeah, I think so. I think the time to hesitate is through, if in the immortal words of the Doors. I think the time now is to go for it. Like you say, we're not dropping from third now. Sunderland are 8-9 points away from us. We're not, we are where we are. We're either have to go for broke and try and get up there, or you settle for the playoffs. There is absolutely 0 point now in playing that cautious approach, playing that, because we've got where we are. He's done a great job. And like Jordan was just saying then, how Sheffield United have got into the position they have done is beyond me, because they're never in control of games. We are constantly in control of games. We just can't seem to put them away. So now he has to roll the dice. He has to go for it. Like we played, Swansea was perfect. We went 2-0 up. We were never in danger of conceding, and we saw the game out. He has to approach it like that now. He really does, because what the worst thing that happens is we lose a few games, we finish third, which is where we currently are. So he must do now. He has to approach it that way. I have to agree.
Cheers, Dan. Connor, is there a danger of whoever does finish third is the mentality is going to be such that they're going to find it difficult to pick themselves up again? It's like running a marathon and finishing second, isn't it? Then being told you've got to run another one the next day. It's hard, isn't it, to go again when you've suffered a setback?
Yeah, it is, because it always tends to be teams like Coventry who are just making the late run up to the playoffs. They're the ones that come out victorious. So we really do have to get our heads down now and just, like Dan said, we've got to take a bit more risks to take control of games and start scoring, because I don't give us a chance in playoffs, if I'm honest. But Scotty P, he's experienced in the playoffs, love the man. But nice street. Yeah.
All right, let's jump back to the Swansea game just for a second then, Jordan. We've got to highlight the fact that records were set this weekend. Never before in the Championship has a team had any more clean sheets than this Burnley side. 27 clean sheets in 38 matches. You've broken the record with eight still to go, so who knows where that record's going to end up. But do you think it gets spoken about enough, Jordan?
No, I don't. It don't get spoken about enough because it's Burnley, and whether we like it or not, nobody likes us to do well. We're not like a team that teeters. We're like Marmite. You either love us or you hate us. So I think us having a record of that manner to be highlighted is something that won't be highlighted by many other media outlets. If Leeds were doing it, they'd waffle on about it every week. But I do have another highlight, and this has got to be the highlight for you, Dan. It's got to be that, man.
Oh yeah,
it's got to be that, man.
Look at that.
So
You've done me dirty there, Jordan.
I have, and I think he should change his number from number 8 to number 13 plus, and then we can just put him a new one on every single week. And I think we should keep rocking with that, because that man is. I'm convinced he's watched the podcast where you slated him. I'm convinced.
He's got it.
I think he plays it back before every game. I think it's on his iPad.
So now I'd like to put forward, please slate him every single game, Dan, because every time you do, he seems to score, and that's good for me.
Well, you went on your own last week, Dan. Were you? Where Jacob Hosford also said that he wasn't a fan. But have you come around in your thinking in the last 2 weeks or so?
Come on, Dan.
No.
Oh, come on! What does a man have to do to win your round?
I know I appreciate it. He's making me look like a right idiot now, because I'm keep saying every week he's no good, he's useless, this, that, the other. And then he scored. Against Swansea, I'll give him his due. He had a decent game. He interrupted play a lot. He did what he needed to do. He was okay. He was secure on the ball. Against West Brom, and you watch the tape back, because I know what you said, what I'm about to say, you'll all say I'm full of whatever. He gave the ball away so frequently. He never showed for the ball. And that's what frustrates me about him, that he's clearly got the ability and he can score. And scoring 13, 14 goals. What numbers is he at now, Jordan?
13.
13. Scoring 13 at this level, you can't say someone is rubbish and he scored 13 goals at this level. He has to have something about him. But against West Brom, he was poor. He gave the ball away. He disappeared. He missed tackles. He wussed out of tackles when he could have gone for 50-50s. And it's frustrating. Whereas against Swansea, he had a much better game. He was much more influential. He was getting stuck in. He was obviously had my words ringing in his ears, which kind of spurred him on. I don't want to take all the credit for Saturday's win, but I will take some. But thank you. So, I don't know what it is with him, but yeah, I've not changed my opinion an awful lot. I'm sorry to say.
Do you not think though, when we're saying he's, when people go, oh, he's not playing the best and all this carry on, do you ever think that this is a big topic with Brian Hill? And there's no hiding it in a lot of the Burnley sectors, and surely he's going to see that. Is he not overthinking? I would. If someone stands over my shoulder at work, I end up doing the job wrong. Honestly, I start getting all sweaty and nervous. I can only imagine what 20,000 people bearing down on you can feel like. Is he overthinking things?
I can't think for 1 minute he's watching us all slagging him. Well, not all us, but me. I can't imagine he is. So, I don't buy into that. He's a professional footballer. Not to sound too much like Sean Dyche, but on your passport, it says professional footballer. He should be able to deal with this and play consistently at that level. And for me, he doesn't. I appreciate him in the minority at the minute because, he's banging him in. But no, he hasn't done enough, is the answer, Mark.
Okay. Let's move on to another player then that was getting the spotlight, especially from the Burnley admin as well. Connor, let you take this one. Talk about this guy for us.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was everywhere, and I think genuinely it's been one of the bargains of the season from any team. I thought from what I read online and for the bits I've seen, he was a part of everything we did. How much did he cost us?
£500,000.
And that's £500,000 well spent. What a player. Could make it into contention to be one of the most underrated players in the league. It's another outrageous opinion for myself, but yeah, no, fantastic player and was everywhere Saturday.
Yeah. All right, then. It's getting tight at the top. You don't need to remind you. We've got 2 weeks now to kind of rest. Do you think the international break, Jordan's just coming at the right time just to get a few players just nursing injuries back, or is it coming at the wrong time and interrupt this flow of what you've been up to?
No. If we were in the Premier League, I'd say yeah, it's coming at the wrong time because it's hard to build momentum as it is because it's only weekly games. However, Tuesday, Saturday, this is coming at a good time. Let's get some restoration back in the boys, maybe a couple of days holiday. I'm not massively bothered about pushing anyone into contention now. I think just stick with the team we've got. They've gelled. Let's not try and mix it up too much. I think it's more for the rest, I think, because they've definitely earned it. I mean, hard-fought point at West Brom. 2-0 against Swansea. We started to make a meal of it towards end, but we still got over that line. So let's give the boys a well-deserved rest and just come back, firing on all cylinders, in my opinion.
All right, join us next week. There'll be no football to talk about, of course, but join us next week. You'll get this panel to have a look at all the out-of-contract players for the Clarets and decide what should happen with them in the summer. So join us for that. Have a good international week, and thank you very much, of course, for joining us. We always respect all your comments, all your love. We'll see you in 7 days' time.